Before fire, there was only darkness. Before fire, the night itself was an enemy. Before fire, every sound in the shadows was a threat waiting to strike. Imagine a world where the sun sinks beyond the horizon, and with it, all sense of safety disappears. The Homo erectus huddled together inside shallow caves, their arms wrapped tight around each other, listening to the roars that echo across the plains. The night is alive with hunters of the dark, saber-toothed cats, giant hyenas, prowling wolves. The humans, they are weak, fragile, almost invisible in the vast food chain. Their eyes strain against the blackness, but they see nothing. Their ears catch the snap of twigs, the low growl of predators, but they can do nothing except pray the beasts pass them by. For them, night is not a time to rest, it is a time of terror. Mothers clutch their children close. Men press their backs to the cave walls, holding crude stones in trembling hands, knowing the weapon is useless if the animal is stronger, faster, hungrier. The darkness is merciless, and without fire there is no weapon against it. But the darkness is not their only enemy. It is also cold. When the winds shift and winter storms sweep across the land, the Homo erectus shiver until their bones ache. Their breath clouds the air, their skin cracks. Babies cry from the chill, the old collapse, their bodies unable to fight against the biting freeze. At night, the cold feels like a predator itself. It seeps into their caves. It steals life silently, leaving bodies stiff and lifeless by morning. Without fire, they cannot fight the cold. They cover themselves with skins of animals, but still the chill creeps in. Hunger and cold walk hand in hand, crushing their spirit. And then there is food. Every day, survival is a battle against hunger. They hunt with sharpened sticks and chase small animals. They scavenge from the kills of larger predators, but when they tear into raw flesh, their stomachs churn. Parasites thrive. Sickness spreads. Raw meat fills them with more disease than strength, and yet they eat it. They have no choice. Plants, roots, berries, they chew what they can, but many are bitter, poisonous, impossible to digest. Some eat and survive. Others eat and collapse, foam spilling from their mouths. The line between food and poison is as razor thin. Without fire, there is no cooking, no safety in eating. Food is as much a danger as it is a need. They see fire, but always from a distance. When lightning cracks across the sky and sets a tree ablaze, they stare with wide, fearful eyes. The flames roar like a living beast, consuming everything in its path. They do not dare go near. To them, fire is a curse from the gods, a punishment that devours the land. Its glow terrifies them. Its heat drives them away. They believe it is alive, angry, untamable, impossible to touch. And so they hide from it, not yet knowing that this very curse will one day become their greatest blessing. So understand this: before fire, humanity is weak, vulnerable, and broken. They are prey, not predators. They are silent wanderers, not masters of the land. Every night they ask themselves if they will see the morning. The darkness owns them. The cold punishes them. The beasts hunt them, and hunger gnaws at them. This is life before fire, a life of fear, of suffering, of endless survival. But one day, something changes. Something so small, so accidental, yet so powerful. It will divide history into before fire and after fire. And that is where the story begins. It began not with courage, but with fear. It began not with wisdom, but with accident. It began the moment humanity's greatest enemy became their greatest ally. The sky darkens. Clouds gather, heavy and swollen with rage. A storm tears across the land, lightning ripping through the heavens. And then a strike. A tree explodes in flame. Branches crack and fall, the earth itself trembling. Sparks leap into the dry grass, and suddenly the savannah is on fire. The Homo erectus watch from the cliffs, their eyes wide, their bodies shaking. The fire rages below them, devouring grass, bushes, even animals caught in its path. They whisper to each other, pointing with trembling fingers. Some believe the gods are angry. Others believe it is death itself walking the land. They wait and they pray the fire dies before it reaches them. But then something strange happens. When the flames pass, they leave behind something the tribe has never seen before. The bodies of animals, cooked. The air smells different, richer, sweeter. Some dare to approach. The ground is still hot. Smoke curls into the sky, and there, lying motionless, are antelopes, roasted by the flames. The tribe is hungry, but fear holds them back. One child, too young to fear, touches the meat. It is soft, warmer than anything they've ever eaten. He tastes it. His eyes widen. He calls to his mother. One by one, the tribe begins to eat. And for the first time in history, meat is not raw. It is safe, delicious. Strength surges into their bodies. They do not yet know it, but humanity has tasted the future. But fire is not just food. It is light. It is warmth. It is protection. One man, curious, reckless, dares to do the unthinkable. While the fire still burns, he approaches, holding a branch. His hands tremble. His tribe shouts, warning him to stop, but he pushes forward, eyes locked on the flickering glow. The heat burns his skin. He screams. He drops the branch. But then he notices something. The branch caught fire. The flames dance in his hand like a living spirit. He panics, throws it to the ground, and the others scatter in terror. But when the flames die out, silence falls. He has carried fire, if only for a moment. The tribe does not understand what they have just witnessed, but deep inside, a seed is planted. If fire can be carried, then maybe, just maybe, it can be kept. And so begins a dangerous experiment. The next storm, the next lightning strike, the tribe does not just hide. They watch, and when the storm passes, they move carefully toward the smoldering remains. This time, they bring with them dried grass, sticks and branches. They place them near the glowing embers. At first, nothing happens. Then smoke. Then flame. The tribe gasps. They back away. Some scream, but a few stay. They fan the embers with their breath, and the fire grows. It is alive, hungry, demanding. From that day on, the tribe assigns a sacred duty to guard the fire. Day and night, they feed it, they protect it from the wind, they shield it from the rain. They believe the fire is a spirit, a god that can turn against them if they anger it. So they treat it with fear, with reverence, with devotion. For weeks they carry the fire with them. They learn to transport it by holding burning branches, by covering embers in ash to keep them alive. Slowly they begin to understand fire can be controlled. Not fully, not yet, but enough to change everything. That night, for the first time in human history, the darkness is broken.
The tribe gathers in a circle. Flames crackle in the center. The shadows retreat to the edges of the cave. The children stare in wonder, their faces glowing in orange light. The hunters sit with tears in their eyes. Outside, the predators pace, hyenas snarl, lions prowl, but they do not come closer. The fire frightens them. The fire protects. For the first time, the tribe sleeps without fear. For the first time, night is not their enemy. For the first time, humanity has a weapon against the dark. And in that moment, everything changes. They soon discover more. The fire softens hard roots, turning them into food. The fire dries wet skins, making them lighter to carry.
The fire warms stones which hold heat through the night. The fire heals wounds, burning away rot. It keeps insects at bay. It makes water boil, killing sickness. And yet, the fire is not just survival. It is something deeper. Around the flames, they tell stories. They laugh. They share. The tribe becomes stronger, not just in body, but in spirit. For the first time, humanity does not merely survive. They begin to live. But remember, discovery is never simple. Fire gives, but fire also takes. The more they rely on it, the more they risk losing it. And when fire is lost, it brings despair greater than ever before. They thought fire would last forever. But when the last flame died, humanity was thrown back into the jaws of the dark. In the cave, the last ember fades. For weeks, the tribe had guarded it with their lives, feeding it, shielding it, worshiping it. But tonight, the storm is merciless. Rain slams against the earth. Wind howls into the cave. The fire sputters, coughs, and then vanishes into cold ash. The silence that follows is unbearable. The people stare into the black pit, their faces hollow with despair. A mother clutches her child. A hunter slams his fists against the stone. Others sit in shock, whispering prayers to gods who do not answer. They had tasted warmth. They had known safety. Now all of it is gone. The nights stretch endlessly. Without fire, shadows creep closer. The growls of lions echo again. Hyenas circle, eyes glinting in the dark. The tribe huddles together, gripping stones and sticks, but fear eats at their strength. Food becomes misery. Raw flesh disgusts them after the sweetness of cooked meat. Water is ice in their throats. Their bones ache. They whisper bitterly, "What curse have we carried?" For once a man has known light, the darkness is no longer bearable. They set out, desperate, chasing storms across the plains, searching the horizon for smoke. For weeks, they travel under a pitiless sky, but the heavens are silent. No lightning, no fire. Children weaken, the elderly collapse, hunger grows unbearable. Fingers point, voices rise. Who lost the flame? Who angered the spirits? Hope thins like the cold air of the night. Then, one day, it happens. Two hunters argue fiercely, rage boiling over. In anger, one seizes a jagged stone, the other blocks with another rock. Crack! A flash. A tiny glowing spark leaps between them. They freeze, eyes widen. The tribe gathers around. Again, stone against stone. Crack! Another spark, brighter this time. Excitement surges. They strike harder, faster. Sparks shower onto dry grass. At first, smoke, then a flicker, and then a flame. The tribe gasps, falling back in awe and terror. The children scream, the elders weep, but slowly recognition spreads through their eyes. This is no gift from the sky, no theft from the gods. This is theirs. At first, disbelief, then celebration. They feed the flame, they cook again, they laugh, they sing, they dance. But soon they learn the truth. Fire must always be fed. Trees fall, branches vanish, the earth blackens, the forest trembles. Fire is no tame friend. It is a beast, a hunger without end. And yet they cannot live without it. So they make a vow. The flame will be guarded, worshipped, feared. It will be passed from parent to child, from generation to generation. Humanity has crossed a threshold. For the first time, they did not steal from nature. They conquered it. With stone against stone, the first invention was born. Nights became shorter. Winters became gentler. Food sweeter. Stories longer. But power always changes those who hold it, and fire was only the beginning. From this moment, man will not merely survive, he will rise. Fire was not given freely. It was taken through struggle, through suffering, through sacrifice. And that is why every flame you see today carries the memory of those who first struck stone against stone and dared to bring light into the endless dark. They thought fire was only warmth, only protection, only survival. But one day they learned it could shape the very bones of the earth. One evening, as the tribe gathers around their fire, hunters return carrying heavy, strange stones. Unlike the usual rocks, these are darker, heavier, veined with glints of red and silver. They throw them into the flames to amuse the children. Hours pass. The stones glow red, then drip like thick honey. The tribe gasps. The earth itself is melting. A child cries out. Elders fall to their knees. The hunters stare, terrified and fascinated. From the blackened ashes, the melted lumps cool into hard new shapes, stronger, sharper than any stone they had ever known. At first, it is only play. They smash the cooled lumps against rocks. The edges gleam, cutting deeper than stone ever could. The tribe realizes what they hold is no ordinary gift. This is a new weapon, a new tool. Fire is no longer only light and warmth. Fire is a forge. With crude hammers and stone molds, they begin to shape spears with harder tips, blades that pierce animal hide with ease, small ornaments of shining metal worn around the neck, symbols of pride, wealth, and power. The tribe changes. The hunters return with more food. The gatherers cut through thickets faster. The warriors strike fear into rivals with their new blades. But whispers begin. What if the flame that cooks can also kill? Soon fire is no longer shared equally. Those who control the forge control the people. Forges become sacred places. Only the chosen few, the smiths, may touch the glowing metal. They are both feared and revered.
The sound of hammer against anvil echoes through valleys, announcing a new age. Villages rise. Tools carve wood for shelters. Plows open the soil. The first seeds of farming sprout under the watchful eye of fire. But with each gain comes a shadow. Warriors armed with metal spears conquer weaker tribes. Blood is spilled not only by fang and claw, but now by man against man. Fire had lifted them higher than beasts, but it had also given them the power to destroy like gods. Centuries pass. Fire grows. The forge becomes the heart of kingdoms. Iron gives way to bronze, bronze to steel. Cities rise, walls tower, empires expand. Ships sail across seas with fire in their bellies. Cannons roar, castles crumble. The age of war and conquest begins, each fueled by the forge's flame. Yet still, fire does not rest. It whispers of more. In time, alchemists and thinkers push further. They discover fire not only melts, but transforms. It powers engines, moves wheels, lifts trains, fuels machines. The world shrinks as men cross continents on rails, seas on steamships, skies in burning engines. The same spark once struck between two stones now roars in power plants, lighting entire cities. It blazes in furnaces, shaping skyscrapers. It burns in rockets, carrying men beyond the sky. Fire, once a fragile flame guarded by trembling hands, is now a roaring force, chained in steel, unleashed at will. It cooks, it warms, it drives, it builds, but it also destroys. Factories belching smoke, bombs leveling cities, forests turn to ash. The question is no longer whether man can control fire, but whether man can control himself.
Fire has been with us since the dawn, from the trembling spark between stones, to the glowing forge that birthed tools, to the blazing engines that shaped our modern world. Every screen that flickers before your eyes, every light that brightens your home, every meal that warms your belly owes its existence to the first tribe that struck stone against stone and dared to feed the flame. They suffered, they sacrificed, they risked their lives to master the fire that would one day build our world. So when you see fire, do not only see light, see the story of survival, struggle, and the greatest gamble humanity ever made, because without fire, we would still be shadows in the dark. And so, from trembling sparks between stones, to glowing furnaces that melted the bones of the earth, to the towering cities and roaring engines of today, fire has always been the silent partner of humanity. But remember this, fire is not just light. It is sacrifice. It is the pain of those who first burned their hands to keep the flame alive. It is the hunger of tribes who risked everything in the dark so that future generations would never fear the night. It is the courage of those who faced the wild, the storm, the unknown, and chose to strike stone against stone until a miracle was born. Every warm meal you eat, every glowing screen before your eyes, every roof above your head owes its existence to their suffering. Never forget the price they paid. The story of fire is the story of us. If this story moved you, let it live on. Share this tale. Subscribe for more forgotten stories of our ancestors. And in the comments, tell the world what you would have done if you lived in the time before fire. Because history is not just about the past. It is the flame we carry into the future. Guard it well.